All right. I guess I'll do a quick update video today. I meant to do one the other day and actually recorded it, but it was so dang hot out that I wasn't happy with it. But we probably need to plant this monstera in the ground. It looks like it's struggling in that tiny pot. But yeah, so got a lot of seedlings that are progressing. The ones in there are doing all right, but kind of waiting for them to get a little bigger and stronger before I bring them outside, just because they're a little rarer and I'm babying them. But some of my other rare ones are doing okay. From the batch over here, I won't go through each of them, but just kind of showing how many seeds I got and how many things popped up. Pretty much like this one, this Donna Maria is popping up here, but I've lost a lot of them. I don't know why. Like, I think most of them kind of popped up, but like died back in the winter because I had them out in the greenhouse, and there were even some worms that ate them. So it really got the 1-2 punch. But yeah, some other new things over here. This I've got some orange cherry of the Rios. I got the orange Guabiroba, which is a Campanasia, and so growing those out, and I've been potting everything up. And we got another big rain yesterday, and even that rain from a couple of weeks ago really helping kick everything off. But I went through, and I had that like cell tray of red jabos in here that I potted up, and I'll show that on the side of the house. I kind of moved them out. Just trying to stay on top of these things. Like pretty much everything in here needs to be potted up, I think. Definitely the mango, that jackfruit probably needs to go in the ground. It's actually been doing okay in that little tiny grow bag, but it probably would appreciate getting put in the ground. Calamandan's flowering, and it smells amazing, but the anomaly here, I think it did set a fruit. It's hard to get it on the camera because it's like underneath the bottom of the branch. But there's like one little tiny fruit set. Anything special going on over here? Let's see. Hey, look at this Merciera cuspidata. It's just such a cool plant. Very ornamental. Hopefully the fruit tastes good, but I'm not really worried about it. Just a pretty plant. Some pigeon peas growing in there. All of these Macrophylla duacres have like popped up and look really good. I need to pop these up again. Where are they at? I know one of them has like the root popping out, but I'm actually surprised that they're this big and the root isn't popping out on all of them, because they usually do pretty quickly. Yeah, here we go. Is this one? Yeah. See the root popping up there. Yeah, focus. There it is. They're definitely less aggressive than some of the other Garcinia. And I know that's kind of what Bellamy mentioned on the website with it, was that they might be good for putting in pots. I got these Eugenia Caporas that they're doing okay, but they like have this tendency to like fall over. So I'm not sure if that's because I didn't plant them deep enough or whatever, because they were kind of sprouted out, kind of funny. But this one's actually looking pretty good. They're a little chlorotic. I think it's because of all the rain, and they've been watered quite a bit. I might have to change the soil out on these. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'd be happier after that. But all these Eugenia Rapundas are looking really good. Remember around, actually this is a Primichama. Remember, what was it, around January, they got all eaten to a nub by, like down to a nub by worms, and they grew back pretty well. Let's see. Oh, these Eugenia piriformis. This is the sweet one, so it's probably the hybrid. They're really popping off. They're very strong plants. Same with these yellow jabos. This is the Cabaludeo. It's supposed to be the bigger fruited variety. They're just so strong. I've got one on the ground that I've shown before that it's just taking full sun, a little bit of drought, Well, here's another another set of macrophylla that are kind of ahead of the others. So they push out a second set of leaves. They seem to be handling the mucky soil pretty well. Let's see. Strigopes is popping off. I think I need to put this in a bigger pot already. It's probably popping out of the ground. Really, I think these things want to be in the ground. Maybe I can prune it back, but I don't really want to do anything to it till I have backups of it. So maybe I'll try and graft it on to another Myrceria. See how well that works. I'm sure you could probably graft it onto Clausioviana. They're like almost identical, just the smaller leaves on these. Maybe I'll give that a shot. But all these reds are getting bigger. They're all in, well, some of them are in the little 4-inch pots, but most of them are in like 1 gallons that I filled halfway or are in half gallons. And I'd say they're all about somewhere in the 1 to 2 year range. I think some of the bigger ones are probably starting their 3rd year, like this one right here. And these are all seedlings of this mother plant right here, which is pushing out a whole bunch of new growth. It was pushing out a bunch of suckers, and actually, let's look at that. There's one thing I don't like about their reds is that you've really got to stay on top of all the suckers. Like they fruit all year, and then they also want to pop up out of the ground, and I don't want them to pop up out of the ground. I want them to stay as one tall plant and focus on the new growth on the branches and not out of the soil. If you don't, you'll get like a big old freaking mess, and it's hard to take care of, at least in the pot. I'm sure if you put it in the ground and let it go, it would be fine, but you don't really want that in a pot. It'll probably not fruit very well too, I would imagine. But I find as soon as you start pulling the little suckers out, it wants to start working on the branches instead, so you just got to stay on top of that. But not really a whole lot of work. You can kind of let them go for a bit and then pull them out. Just don't let them harden off into like branches that you have to cut with shears. But anyways, I got some more Garcinia over here. This Plania, I always forget the name of this one. Yeah, Clausa. Like, it pushed out a whole bunch of branches and then kind of died back. I'm not sure why. It's got a new, there's some mealybugs on it, but it's got some new growth coming out still, and it's still green. Maybe just a lack of nitrogen or something, but maybe the temperature wasn't quite right. I'm not sure. It's definitely finicky. And even like my Plinius alticolas, they all died. Like, they were probably the most finicky Plinia that I've grown so far, save for those seedlings over there, but I don't think it was their fault. But like, compared to the Edulis, the Cambuca, the Clausa is definitely, it's a little harder to take care of. But I wonder if you grafted Clausa onto Cambuca if it would do better, because I know they're compatible. This Grimmichama didn't flower again this year. This is the yellow one, supposedly a yellow one. Let's see. Move outside. Let's see what's going on out here. Oh yeah, actually, hold on, let me look over here. Yeah, I had to bring my Trunciflora in. I think it was getting a little beat up by the sun. I moved it outside because it had aphids all over it and just was generally not happy. So I gave it a hit of fertilizer and brought it back in and give it a little bit of shade by putting it under here. And we'll see if it comes back a little better. But yeah. And I also potted up the what is this? This is the Campo Ramon. And so what is that? That's probably like a 5-7 gallon pot, 7 gallon, I want to say, something like that. Let's see, Rosa de Pescos is looking good. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show inside. Oh, my miracle fruit is flowering like crazy. It hasn't set fruit before, but it has flowered. But pretty much every branch on this one's flowering. This other one just started for the first time flowering. So hopefully I'll get to have some of those this year. I think there's some worms eating in those plants too, but I don't know. They seem to be pretty hardy. All right, what's going on out here too? Yeah, looks like the Imbays are doing their thing. Some of the old growth is looking a little burnt up, but they're pushing out new growth slowly here and there. I think probably in the next year they'll really pop off. That's kind of what happens with these Garcinias. They just take a while. Like my lemon drop here, just I mentioned it before, it just never looked this good until like really the last year. Yeah, the hurricane kind of knocked it on its butt a little bit, but it didn't really seem to mind it too much. Before it looked really just kind of like burnt up and yellow, and just not as deep green as that. Definitely not as much density on the foliage either. It was just very lanky for a while. Kind of like, you know, not even like that, like maybe more like that one. These are the Garcinia seashore mangosteens. Those have been in the ground not even a year yet. So, let's see what else is going on. Got the seedling, Sanford right there. This red just pushed out a whole bunch of new growth after all these rains. It's coming out burnt from the cold in the wintertime. I've got this passion vine that once once the fruit is all ripe on it, it's coming out. Like I'm tired of this thing. Like I love the fruit, but my goodness, I have to fight it constantly. It just wants to come over here and go over there, and like I've got the one in the tree back there that's taking over, which is fine. I don't care if it gets in the oak trees because it just turns an oak tree into a fruit tree. But I really don't want it getting into my bananas and into the star fruit and, you know, covering up all these seedlings down here, for example. Really don't want that. So we're going to try and keep that to a minimum. But yeah, as soon as they get ripe, I'm just going to come in and I'll definitely take some cuttings off of this and propagate it so I don't lose the plant completely. But there's two, let's see if I can find it. I don't want to stick my hand in there randomly because there's a snake that hangs out here. But there's two, it's like fat stalks. Let's see if I can show it. The other thing too is it gets so dense right here. See that fruit that's got like spots all over it? Actually, all of them have spots all over it. There's so many fruits in here, and they have fungus issues because it just layers over on itself. But I'm trying to find the trunk. I know I planted two separate cuttings in here. It's just hard to see, but where is it? I swear it's over here. Oh, there we go. There's one. So I'll just cut it there and it'll die completely down the vine over time. And just remove it all and we'll put some eugenias or something in here. Anyways, the green wax jambu finally popped off with its flowers. They make really cool looking flowers. Just incredibly showy. I can't imagine what it looks like whenever you have like a bigger tree and it just is in full bloom. It's got to be really cool. But I'm not sure if the fruit is setting. I see, yeah, some of them are dropping off down there. See that? So hopefully we get a couple to try it. But the plant seems to be doing fine. Made it through the winter. You know, this damage here is from the sun burning it. But it's putting on a whole bunch of new growth and it's acclimated pretty quickly. And the reason it's getting sunburned is in the summertime, the sun kind of moves up that way. In the winter, it becomes more shady. And here's my potted seashore mangosteens. Looks like an animal came back through here and started knocking stuff over. Maybe that was from the storm, I don't know. We got some rain yesterday and it watered everything back here real nice. So this stuff is probably gonna pop off, but these are all the reds that I pulled out of the cell tray. Put over here, give them a little bit of shade. These ones are getting a little burnt up because they get the afternoon sun. These ones get the morning sun. Tongatubas are still flowering on this one, but I haven't seen any fruit set on it yet. We do have some strawberry guavas on here. looking forward to trying the Cattleya. I tried the yellow, but not the red one. That one's the red one. I know I did another video on the Batanga too, but probably a short, right? But there is a fruit right here that's definitely ripening up, or becoming a fruit that will ripen up. There's a couple more on here. There it is. There's one. Kind of see it hiding there. I know there's one more, but I'm probably not going to see it until they all turn yellow. Let's see what else is going on. The pomegranate didn't flower this year. This mango, I tipped it and it finally put out multiple branches. Jackfruit's still going strong. This key lime finally flowered. Got a whole bunch on there. So looking forward to that. Once those things start flowering, they don't stop. Pretty much have limes all year round. The Grimmel, it's getting some peeling bark. So usually that means it's happy. It takes the full afternoon sun. It's a pretty strong tree. I'd say this is probably one of the best ones to put in the ground in Florida. This ice cream bean is getting huge. Like, huge. It's like the thickness of, maybe my thumb right now. Let's see. A little thicker than my thumb. Got some plums on the plum tree. Let's come on over here to the other side. And the Grumichama is about 6 feet tall now. There's some fruit set on it. Try and find it. Yeah, here's one. I'm not really holding out hope for a big crop on it yet. Once it gets established, it'll put out a lot more. Kind of like this guava here. And there's tons of pink flesh guavas on this. Is the Ruby Supreme. But it didn't really make a whole lot when I first got it. It did set fruit when I first got it, but it was like, a couple fruit here and there, and now it's just loaded. Got another ice cream bean here, same batch of seeds. They chopped this tree down here, letting in a lot more light, so those things are starting to grow up a bit more. Let's see. Yeah, it's starting to get hot out. So I'm trying to catch my breath because I'm getting overheated here, so we'll cut it short. But the Julie mango, dropped those two fruits it had on it that were kind of getting bigger, which is probably okay because it's kind of small. So try again next year. But these jackfruits are doing great. I do have some fruit set on the Valencia. Tons and tons of fruit set on the finger limes. I know I made a video of that a little bit ago. But kind of the cool thing is, because it's been raining, the Quaimuck is just popping off, pushing out a whole bunch of new growth. The mangoes still have some, the younger mango trees that are old enough to hold fruit are holding like, maybe 4 or 5 mangoes each. But the most exciting thing is the Achacha pushing out a whole bunch of new growth, and it looks really good. Very, very excited about that. I was worried about this tree because last year, if you go back and look at my hurricane video, you'll see that it was pretty much laid flat. I had to prop it back up. This is what this is here for. But you can see if I let it go, kind of give it slack back, like it's reestablished itself. I'm just going to leave that on there for now just to help it out. But yeah, a whole bunch of really nice looking growth. It's actually the first time it pushed out growth that looked this good since it's been in the ground. So I think it's finally establishing itself, like the lemon drop over there. So we're at over a year in the ground at this point. Made it through its first winter, first hurricane. And so I think if we could just make it 1 or 2 more years, it'll probably be pretty well established. I'll definitely keep it here over the mangoes, but I love mangoes, but I can buy mangoes. You can't really buy Achachas, right? So I've got this Valencia Pride here, which I'll keep it around as long as it's manageable. We've got like 1, 2, these things get huge. I love Valencia Pride. This is a very classic flavored mango. To me, they're like sweet and but equally sweet and sour, and you know, fiberless. You can kind of pick them early when they're hard and let them ripen on the counter too. I know I got one that was like, was at the Mango Festival last year. I got a big fat Valencia Pride mango from someone who generously gave it to me. And it was as hard as a rock, and it still ripened up, and it was absolutely delicious. So you can pick them early like that too, which is nice. I'm not really sure when to pick. It'll be a little bit of experimentation over the next couple of years, but what was that? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mangoes on this tree. I'd say that's pretty good for first crop. And then we come over here to the orange sherbet, and we've got one big fat one down there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mangoes on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped a couple of the double mangoes there. But this tree's doing pretty good. I'm surprised that it set this much fruit. I've got that support there on it. I might try to prop up the branches too, just because they are kind of lanky. I feel like they should be able to handle the weight of it, but yeah, but I'm excited to try orange sherbet. I've never tried it, but you know, I hear it's kind of like a Flintstones push pop style of flavor. And lemon zest didn't set any fruit, but it wasn't as healthy as the other trees. I know people say that lemon zest can be one of the more difficult ones to get fruit on without spraying it anyways. I'm not going to spray here. I just, first of all, don't have the time, and I don't want the chemicals in my food, so we're not doing that. If it never gives me any fruit, then we'll just turn it into something else. But for now, it looks great. Like, all the new growth coming out on it is really healthy. I'm suspecting that it didn't hold fruit, more so because it wasn't ready for it yet. Try again next year. Hopefully we make it through with no hurricanes and not too much cold. But yeah, it's some really good growth. Well, once this hardens off, I'll tip these, and it'll probably grow into this space here. And hopefully it'll start shading this out a little bit more. You can kind of see through my videos where I got these stones. I'm kind of creating paths. I'm thinking of making another path kind of come through here, and once it's shady, maybe a little bench or something. But yeah, so mango trees can be used as shade trees. There's no doubt about that. So we might be getting to that point. But these Paccaris back here, I had to put buckets in front of them to shade them up from the afternoon sun. They started getting a little burnt up. Yeah, hopefully they come back from that. I think once it starts raining a little more, they'll do a little better. This one looks a little better because it's shaded out from these spinaches I've got planted there. Lemon guava's looking good. This banana back here is surviving. I don't see the jackfruit I had planted back here. I don't know where the heck it went. It may have died. Maybe it'll pop out someday and I'll be like, oh, there's a jackfruit there now. But yeah, it's in there somewhere. It's just hidden. What else? Yeah, this mangosteen, it is pushing out some new growth. It looks like trash, but again, the root ball fell apart on it, and it's just been recovering. But yeah, here's my Garcinia xanthochymus that's been here for like a year. It's always looked kind of yellow like that. I think it's just getting too much sun. I did plant a pigeon pea in front of it that didn't make it. I was hoping that it would kind of shade it out a little bit, but got the bucket now there doing that for it. But I've got this other one over here, which I put this kind of perforated grow bag on, and it's looking a lot better. It was like kind of yellow like that, so it's definitely the sun causing that issue. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. It's pretty hot. I'm gonna go inside. I'll do some smaller update videos, but everything's good. Made it through the winter, made it through the hurricane. We're getting rain, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'll take care.